En una tarde de noviembre del 2007, un jet corporativo esperó en un hangar en el aeropuerto internacional de Salt Lake. 4 pasajeros, científicos y ejecutivos de una compañía farmacéutica global, estaban negociando con 3 hombres en un edificio cercano.
They started getting on the phone about noon back east, and they kept doing that, and about 2 o'clock they walked in the room and said, okay, we're convinced you've got something here, and it's significant enough that we will write you a check big enough that you won't want to talk to anybody else.
Cómo estos hombres se conocieron y la decisión que tomaron ese día es la historia del génesis de ASEA.
A lot of people have fathers that teach them sports. My father happened to be a great strategist. And from a very young age, I recall having discussions with him about what he was doing. At the time, he was running fairly large companies. And I can remember driving in the car with him and him talking to me about strategy, about what is strategy and how to think differently about a company.
Verdes Norton tenía la experiencia para educar a su hijo al respecto. En ese momento, era gerente de planificación de ventas de la división multimillonaria de bebidas de General Foods Corporation en Nueva York. Estaba a cargo de productos icónicos como Kool-Aid y Country Time, entre otros. En 1985, fue reclutado por Dart y Kraft y eventualmente lideró Hobart Corporation US, cerca de Cincinnati, Ohio. 5 años más tarde, regresó a Kraft y General Foods en Chicago como vicepresidente del grupo de canales. Manejaba un negocio piloto billonario que llevó a la eventual integración de General Foods, Oscar Mayer y Kraft Foods. Gracias a su experiencia, Verdes fue invitado a colaborar en la reingeniería de la empresa para aumentar la eficiencia de una iniciativa a nivel industrial llamada Respuesta del Consumidor Eficiente. En los siguientes 3 años, la calificación de eficiencia de Kraft pasó del 10º al 1er lugar.
Conozco a Verdes desde hace más de 25 años e inmediatamente me fue evidente que era un hombre muy especial, un hombre de gran ética, grandes estrategias empresariales, entusiasmo. No había duda de que este hombre iba a ser un gran éxito, y lo es.
Verdes se retiró de Kraft a los 57 años de edad y se mudó a Park City, Utah.
We thought he would take retirement seriously. He did not. Shortly after doing some service for our church, he was asked to run a biotech company. He had a lab in Southern California, 5 PhDs reporting to him, a series of master's or graduate students as well, all doing work for him there. And he ran that for 4 years, and we thought he was done.
Pero eso no fue todo para Verdes Norton. Gracias a su hijo Tyler, se reunió con otra compañía de biotecnología y fue invitado a ser parte de la junta directiva.
I recall coming to the house one afternoon only to find books strewn about his desk, chemistry and biology books, and I said, now what in the world are you doing now? And he proceeded to tell me that he had been invited to sit on the board of this company that had an incredible technology that and I do recall him saying, but they don't know exactly what they have. And that's an invitation to my dad. He's going to figure it out. He's a puzzler.
I was intrigued until they told me it was made from salt water. And I told them this doesn't sound right. And you're going to have to convince me it's real. They said, well, we can do that. They said, we have a lot of research. And we'll give you some of the best research. You can look at it. And after running a lab and having my association with these people for 4 years, I knew what to look for. And I went through the science, and it was good, defensible science. Then they gave me a list of people to call, and I was calling Harvard, UCLA, University of Washington, University of Indiana, major labs across the United States. And everyone I talked to raved about the product, the way the company was intending for it to be used. And also they raved about the fact that you could drink this product and get a benefit from it.
En ese entonces, el producto solo podía producirse en cantidades limitadas a través de máquinas pequeñas. Era muy inestable. Tenía que ser consumido en cuestión de minutos de ser elaborado. Pero al ver el poder del producto, Verdes aceptó ser parte de la junta directiva.
As soon as I did that, they said, we're going to give you one of these devices to put in your house. We'd like you to become familiar with it. I started drinking the product that was made in this device, and my thinking cleared up. I had more energy. I felt better than I had for years, and now keep in mind I was in my 60s at that time. And I thought, holy cow, what is this? So I went to the first board meeting and found out that they were flat out of money. They were $1 million in debt. We said, let's see if we can help them find money. We tried for about 90 days, could not. Eventually, the company folded, and they actually merged it with another company, an energy company. And when that happened, that company started selling off assets. And so we started down the road together, and over the course of a year, we discovered what the product was and why it worked. We developed what's called the mechanism of action.
Ellos descubrieron que el producto estaba basado en la bioquímica redox, un nuevo campo de la ciencia que surgió a principios del siglo XXI. La señalización redox es una función central en toda forma de vida. Las moléculas de señalización redox se crean dentro de cada célula del cuerpo y son vitales para el sistema inmunológico, la reparación celular y para reemplazar mecanismos. A medida que uno envejece, la capacidad del cuerpo para crear estas moléculas disminuye, un proceso normal del envejecimiento. El producto proporcionó una fuente de reabastecimiento de las mismas moléculas de señalización redox que el cuerpo crea, y en la misma cantidad, mejorando así la salud celular. Era esencial saber la vida útil del producto. Verdes retó a un equipo de investigadores, incluyendo al Dr. Gary Samuelson, a que encontraran una manera de estabilizar el producto.
And we bought some equipment and kept making product over and over and over again, and we'd run it through the computer. And finally, after months, he finally came in and said, I think I've got the product stabilized. And we started testing it and found out that he had, in fact, stabilized the product.
Después de la estabilización, Verdes se reunió con un grupo de científicos universitarios.
We had told them that we had stabilized this mix of molecules, and they said, no, it can't be done. And we said, no, we have done it. And they said, no, it can't be done. And they were so adamant that they were slapping the table. And we said, well, wait a minute. We'll come back tomorrow and show you the product. So we took the product back the next day. Said, this is stabilized redox signaling molecules, both positive and negative molecules in the same bottle, stabilized. And they said, how in the world did you do this? So one of the big breakthroughs is the fact that we can stabilize molecules that you're not supposed to be able to do that. The molecules in ASEA are supposed to be fleeting. They should all return to salt and water in just a matter of minutes, and they don't.
Mientras tanto, Tyler, el hijo de Verdes, había llegado a la cúspide de su carrera en la industria de servicios financieros. Su padre tomó la ocasión para explicarle la tecnología que había descubierto.
He said to me, this is the product. He reminded me it was made from salt and water, and I was very concerned. At church the following Sunday, I was discussing some of the challenges of some of the members of our congregation. And I had a neighbor friend that we discussed the majority of that meeting, who, despite seeing a number of professionals and trying to solve a challenge that he had a significant issue, they were just not able to really help and find a solution for him. And it was then that this product popped into my mind. I wondered and asked, despite my doubts, could this help? Could this make a difference for him? I called Dad, and he said, of course it will help. Now, I didn't have that conviction at the time. He did, and he was willing to get some of that product. We got that product to my neighbor, and from that point forward, I felt confident that I had done my part. And given that I was still doubtful and even fearful, I kind of washed my hands from it. I think it was 3 months later when I received a phone call from the leader of our church, and he said, "Are you sitting down?" And I said, "Don't start a call like that. What's wrong?" And he said, "This is good news. Are you sitting down?" He proceeded then to tell me that he had just received some very good news, that my neighbor, whom we had given this product to months earlier, had received word that he was in fact improving and had improved a great deal. Of course, the question going through my mind was, well, did he drink this stuff? And that was what my church leader told me. He says, "That's why I'm calling. He drank all of it, and he's confident that it's had a huge effect on his situation. I called my neighbor, and I needed for him to tell me what he had experienced. And he was quiet for a minute, as I recall, and said, "Do you have any idea what I think this has done for me and for my family?" He began to tell me things that I've now heard multiple times over from people across all of North America, and how this product helped him and made a difference for his family. Frankly, this was a problem for me. This became a problem for me. It was my first indication that this could be real, this could be meaningful. And I started to question kind of what I was doing, and feeling a need to get this product out to the world, watching the impact it was having. And I ultimately resigned in May of 2010 from a significant job, the job I'd spent the better part of 17 years getting to. And it was born of this sense and feeling that this product needed to be given to the world.
Conozco a Tyler Norton desde hace más de 20 años. Él es una persona que demuestra integridad en todos los aspectos de su negocio. Él es capaz de motivar a la gente a hacer cosas que están fuera de lo que piensan que pueden alcanzar.
You know, this came full circle for me about a few months ago. I happened to be out walking, and I looked ahead and saw a family coming towards me on the street. And as they got closer, I realized it was my neighbor that had been benefited by ASEA. And I happened to be on the phone, and so we weren't able to talk. I kind of waved as we acknowledged each other, and he reached in his back pocket and pulled out a sport pouch of ASEA, and then kind of subtly bumped his heart. And we didn't say anything, but I understood completely. It brought home the whole purpose of what we're doing.
Luego que el producto había sido estabilizado, Burgess comenzó a estudiar los modelos de distribución, venta al por menor, ventas directas, internet y mercadeo en red.
So we decided to find 40 people and create kind of a focus group, and we started giving it to them. We did that for about 2 months, and we said, let's go out and find out where we are with these 40 people. So when we went out and contacted them, we found out that the 40 people had turned into 135. And the product had been shipped to 20 different countries without our knowing it. And we said, well, we've got the answer we wanted. People will, I think, buy this product. When they determine that there is a perceived health benefit, they'll buy it.
ASEA LLC abrió sus puertas en julio del 2009 con tan solo unos pocos asociados independientes. Hoy en día hay decenas de miles de asociados, y sus órdenes crecen exponencialmente cada mes. En el 2012, la compañía anunció su llegada a Europa, el primero de muchos pasos internacionales por venir.
One of my fondest memories is of a Meet ASEA meeting that we held in Lexington, Kentucky. We had a huge group of people that came, very impressive group, and a lot of people coming up talking about what ASEA had done for them personally. But at the end of the meeting, they invited me to come up and gave me a small treasure chest. Wasn't very big, but as you open up the treasure chest, it's filled with letters of gratitude and thanks. It meant a great deal to me. So we came back to Salt Lake City, and I asked our people to go out and find a treasure chest, which we have done. And we have it in the office, and we continue to add letters to it.
I have the privilege of going around the country and talking to people about this product. And it's not uncommon at the end of a meeting to have a group of people line up and want to tell me, and really thank me, but more thank my dad. And as they tell their stories, and I get a chance to look into their eyes and sense their sincerity and the realness of what this has done for them. More than once, I've had to step out of the room and find a corner in a hotel somewhere where I could compose myself and get myself in order after hearing how sincere and thankful they are for this product.
You know, we started off looking at this as a business opportunity, and as we progressed, it became more of a sense of purpose. But it's much more than that. We're creating a culture here. We're creating a family.
I believe that the heart and soul of this company is represented in our associates. Our associates becoming is as important to us as them making an income. I don't believe you build checks. I believe you build people. And perhaps one of the greatest blessings of my time here at ASEA is embodied in these marvelous, enriching relationships with wonderful people. People that are desirous to improve their lives, share something meaningful with others, make a difference in the world, and become more.